Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing? Well, as promised, my name is Monalisa Monroe, and this is Late Night with Mona Lisa. So, what we do tonight is we hang out for about 30 minutes, talk about any and everything, but mainly what we talked about this morning. What did we talk about this morning? Violence in the air. But before we dive into that, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. You can get the merchandise. You can get cups, mugs, totes, t-shirts. You can even get my book, Life After the Diagnosis. Oh, yes. www.monalisamonroe.com. Please check me out. So let's get into the red hot topics. Violence in the air. Yeah, violence in the air. Now, if you are new to the show late night, in the morning I tell you to go grab your coffee and your tea because we have a lot to talk about. Well, at night it's a little different. I tell you to go grab a glass of whatever you like. And what do I say? Bottoms up. And let's get going. Violence in the air. What are you talking about, Mona Lisa? Well, let me explain. If you are, maybe a person under a rock or you just don't watch the news, it has been a lot of people losing it in the air. What do you mean? On airplanes. Yes. It has been people losing their minds in the air, passengers losing it on an airplane. Yes, I'm going to have to switch glasses because I can't see y'all. So, the latest is a passenger. Oh, there we go. A passenger got drunk, drinking on the plane. Yeah. And he decided to get cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He decided to get belligerent. He decided to start to get violent. So, what did they do? What do you do in the air when you have a person, a passenger, that's drunk, cursing, talking crazy, fighting, all the above on the plane? Mind you, 32,000 feet in the air. What do you do? Well, these flight attendants went and got duct tape. What did they do with the duct tape? They wrapped this passenger in their seat with the duct tape. Not only that, they wrapped him in the seat with the duct tape and then put duct tape around his mouth, taped his mouth up, and taped him down to the seat. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. The first time I heard this, I was, oh no, that's wrong. That is wrong on so many levels. And then I kept reading. This passenger was so irate and violent that that was the only resort that these flight attendants could take because he started trying to fight them. Now, this is the kicker. The passengers on the plane started cheering when they started wrapping this dude up with the duct tape. If you don't believe me, go YouTube it. It is now viral. It's everywhere. This is the first time I personally heard of this happening. Now, this morning, I was told that people fighting on the plane is not a new thing. I've never heard of this. And you know why? Because now, what are we? We are a cell phone generation. We will get those cell phones out in the middle of I don't know what and I don't care what, and somebody's going to start recording. Well, he got recorded. And the passengers on the plane started cheering when he started getting wrapped up in that duct tape. I tell you no lie. If you do not believe me, Google it, YouTube it, it's everywhere. This person was duct taped to their seat. Now, I wanted to know this morning if this was you on the plane as a passenger, what would you do? What would you do? You're on the plane, you're a passenger, and a passenger started to act a pure monkey on the plane. And mind you, you're 32,000 feet in the air. What would you do? Then I asked this morning if you were a flight attendant and this dude started going for you, trying to beat you up on the plane, 32,000 feet in the air, what would you do? It's open. I want to hear from you, my audience. Late night with Monalisa, let me know what you would do if you was on this plane. And I'll be the first person to tell you. Let me start, okay? First, I felt like this was a shame for this person to be duct taped to the seat. Okay, let me just put that out there. I felt bad. Then I started to think about this thing. We are 32,000 feet in the air, and I'm on this plane, okay? I'm with my kids, my family, my husband, whatever, and now you're putting us in danger? Duct tape. Matter of fact, I would be cheering just like the passengers on that plane. What do y'all say? I'm telling you, I started out feeling bad for that passenger. But then I started thinking about that thing. If I was on that plane and my life was in danger, you putting my children in harm's way because you're having a temper tantrum. It's on. So I felt like, where's the tape? Because we're going to tape your behind to the chair. Now, mind you, I'm a passenger. Now, if I was a flight attendant, after thinking about that thing all day, if I was a flight attendant, I said this morning, you got 3 warnings. The first warning is I'm going to tape you up. Okay? Yeah. The second warning is I'm going to tape you up and I'm going to tape your mouth. The third warning is you're going to get a sedative. Yeah, you're going to calm your behind down. And then I'm thinking, don't you dare talk about your rights, and I can't stick you with a needle and give you a sedative. I don't want to hear that because you have now not just put me in danger, but everybody on this plane is in danger. Yeah, you're going to go to sleep. And then this morning, I thought about it again and I say, yeah, somebody will knock you out. Yeah. If I was a passenger, yeah, passenger, I would knock you out. But then again, if I was a flight attendant, I might take a swing at you for messing with not just me, but the whole plane. Now, mind you, that was just the first story I gave you. Yeah, I tell you no lie. The first story was the duct tape. Okay? Yeah. So now, since this thing has went viral, this is the thing now. If someone starts to cut up on the plane, the passengers on the plane yells, duct tape them. It's a thing now. The passengers, if they feel like someone's unruly and out of control, they yell, duct tape them. Yeah. Now, the second story I read was another man, okay, cutting up on the plane. I'm talking cutting up very bad to the point to where he starts to go toward the cockpit. Yeah, he starts to go toward the cockpit where the pilot is flying the plane. He's trying to go where the pilots are flying the plane. And he's irate, he's fighting, he's cutting up, and he's putting everybody on the plane in danger. This same guy, after 4 flight attendants hold him down, there is a passenger that starts to beat this man down, stomping him. Passenger, once they pinned him down. This is 32,000 feet in the air. Come on now. I tell you no lie, y'all. What is happening on the airlines? And this is not just any one particular airline. This is everybody, okay? I read a story not too long ago. Spirit, the airline Spirit, it was women going to blows on the plane, fighting on the plane, violence in the air. What do you guys think? I mean, what if you were on the plane? What would you do as a passenger, as a flight attendant? What would you do? If you were on that plane, I'll start with me. I'd be the one yelling, duct tape 'em. And I really think this is because of the pandemic. I really do. You've been locked up. I don't know. You feel like you have been caged Now you want to act like a wild animal? Crazy. But my third and last story is even better than the first and the second one. The first story started the whole thing. The man got duct taped to his seat and his mouth got duct taped. Okay. That's the first story that I read. The second story is the man was trying to make it to the cockpit where the pilot was, and they beat him down on the plane. 32,000 feet in the air. Yeah. And then the third story, you're going to love this one. How about a 13-year-old boy and his mother, okay? 13-year-old boy, and he's with his mommy. He starts to act up on the plane. Not only did he start acting up, he started to fight, kick, and scream on the plane. His mother stated that she can't control him. He's out of control. She can't control him. Now, this is the kicker. Not even that. I know you probably thinking, now that's the kicker. No, no, no. This is the kicker. He tries to kick the window of the plane. He tries to kick and break the window of the plane. Yeah. This 13-year-old boy decides to start kicking the window of the plane. What do? Yeah, you guessed it, duct taping. So they duct taped him to the chair. That's not even the kicker. The kicker is they had to make an emergency landing. This plane and the pilot, okay, the pilot of the plane, decided to make an emergency landing because this 13-year-old boy could not be controlled, could not be contained, cut up so bad that you had to have an emergency landing. Now, let's just say I'm a passenger and I'm trying to get somewhere, okay? I'm trying to make it to my destination. And you, okay, your child is cutting up so bad to the point to where we gotta make an emergency landing. Like I said this morning, J. Anthony Brown, if y'all watch Steve Harvey or listen to Steve Harvey on the radio, J. Anthony Brown said he would lock him in the bathroom. Guess what? That's not too far-fetched to me. Because think about it. Once you get locked in the bathroom, you're away from everybody. You can be violent all by yourself in the bathroom. You can do whatever you want to do in the bathroom. The worst thing you could do is flush yourself down the toilet. That's about the worst thing you could do. So that might be a good idea versus the duct tape. Crazy. So I said this morning, if this was my child, which I doubt it, but if it were, I would make a trip in the bathroom. And I wouldn't, no, 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 no. I would make the announcement. Please ignore what you're going to hear. Um, Sign a waiver that you don't call CPS because I'm going to whoop that behind, pretty much. If I were on the plane, as a passenger, as a flight attendant, I'm gonna whoop your child. I'm gonna put my hands on your child. I'm gonna put my hands on your child. Crazy. So the, the after listening to all of the madness, listening to all the craziness about violence in the air, the one question that I lay to you would be, what would your policy be if you were Southwest, if you were American Airline, if you were United? What would your policy be? And as I stated earlier, for me, my policy would be 3 warnings. The first warning would be you're going to get duct taped. The second warning will be you're going to get duct taped and your mouth. Third and last warning, you're going to get a sedative. And that sedative is going to last you for your whole flight. It's going to last you for your whole flight. Please believe that. So, yeah, crazy violence on the plane, 32,000 feet in the air. Unbelievable. I just I just can't wrap my brain around it. But then now that you think about it, what there is no normal. So nothing should surprise you now, right? Nothing should surprise you now because everything's so crazy. And I turn on the news today, and people that are protesting against children starting school with masks. The mask mandate, you got parents at a parent conference with the teachers about to go to blows about their children wearing a mask to school. We wore masks for 400 days. 400 days we wore masks. What is the problem? No one wants to wear them, but think about what's happening. So why would you be protesting your student wearing a mask? Violence in the air, violence on the plane, and now you are going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs dealing with the masks. I mean, we wore masks for a whole year. This is not new. Why are you protesting the mask mandates in the school, the teachers, you got to think about all of that. And then the variant, the Delta variant that's going on, come on now. And you want to start fighting about a mask? I don't know. I just, like I said in the very beginning, I feel like I am living in the Twilight Zone. It seemed like a movie. This just doesn't seem real at times. Violence in the air, fighting over not wearing a mask. I don't know. I do not know. But I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to talk about it. I am. What do you guys think? Violence in the air, mask mandate. Oh my gosh. I don't have a problem wearing a mask. If it's going to protect me, if it's going to protect you, I don't have a problem. In the air, I'm the last one to start a fight in the air. I don't even like turbulence on a plane. And now you going to blows on the plane? Come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing? What say you? What do you say about mask mandate? What do you say about the violence on the planes? What do you think about what is happening in this world right now? Yikes. As I stated before when I first came on, late night with Monalisa, gang, I only hang out with you for 30 minutes. And the topics of the day were violence in the air. What would you do if you were on that plane as a passenger or a flight attendant? Ooh. And do you think the pandemic is causing this violence? And last but not least, let's say you are American Airlines. Let's say you are United. What would your policy be if you had someone going ham on the plane? What would your policy be? Well, I'll put myself out there again. What would I do if I was on the plane as a passenger? I'd be yelling duct tape. What would I do if I were a flight attendant on that plane? I will be giving you a sedative. You're going to go to sleep if you're cutting up on my plane. Believe that. You're going to get duct taped. You're going to get your mouth taped. And on top of that, uh-huh, uh-huh, you're going to get a sedative. Yup, you sure are. You definitely are. You definitely are. Yes, yes, and yes again. Good evening for those who are now tuning in. Donna, good evening. Cheryl, good evening. And Pam, good evening. How you ladies doing? Ooh, mm. Violence in the air is what we're talking about. Have y'all heard about that? Those fights on the plane? And that guy getting duct taped to the seat, his body, and his mouth? Have you heard about the 13-year-old boy that tried to bust the window of the plane in the air? Oh, and the man that was trying to make it to the cockpit where the pilots were. Yeah, this is real. This is real out here. And the mask mandates, the fights in the parent and teacher meetings. Oh boy. Anyway, as promised, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Late night with Monalisa, hanging out for 30 minutes. As I stated before, bottoms up. Go grab your glass of whatever, and let's talk a little bit. Um, we are 9 o'clock Central. We are 10 o'clock Eastern. Late night with Monalisa. Thanks for tuning in to me. It's been real. Oh gosh. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Golly. But you know what? What can you say?